past 15 years, the SEC Gymnastics Trophy has been hoisted up by one of two teams, the Alabama Crimson Tide or the Georgia Gym Dogs. Suzanne Yocklin's Georgia team has 13 SEC championships, more than the rest of the conference combined. And the Gym Dogs enter this meet as the defending champs. As of late, supremacy in SEC gymnastics has been tinted some shade of red. But that could all change tonight. Rhonda Fain has her Florida Gators poised to win their first SEC title since 1989. Led by Savannah Evans and Breanne King, the Gators are confident that this is their year. LSU all-arounder April Burkholder would say otherwise. The Tigers, who earned their first ever #1 national ranking this year, are trying to top off a magical season for the program's first SEC title in 24 years. This promises to be the most wide-open SEC meet in years. It's time to crown a champion.
Mississippi State wins. Here comes the ball.
Around 10,000 fans expected in Duluth, Georgia tonight for one of the premier gymnastics events in the country. The Arena Aquanet Center plays host to the SEC Gymnastics Championship. Hello again, everybody. I'm Jen Hildreth. Thanks so much for joining us in our final SEC Gymnastics broadcast of the season. And while we've gone ahead and saved the best for last, this meet, the SEC Championship, is widely regarded as second in the country, only to the meet that decides the national champion. But we've got to take care of business here in the SEC first. Who's going to take home that conference title tonight? For the past decade, it's come down to two teams, Georgia and Alabama, and both of those teams looking to continue their dominance tonight.
I always go into this competition as the coach looking at it as a championship event. This is one, I tell the girls, this is one time, and you only have 8 opportunities in your college career to win a championship. 4 SEC titles, 4 national titles. I think other teams go into this meet looking at it as an opportunity to, have another away score, raise their RQS, get a little more experience going into nationals, but I have never looked at it that way.
I think when you're competing for an SEC championship, it's exactly like competing for the NCAA championship. You put everything out on the line, you do the best job that you can, and you know that you're ready to go.
Well, Georgia and Alabama should be in the mix for the title tonight, but this has been one of the most competitive seasons ever in the SEC. And for more on the other teams looking to make a run at that title, let's bring in my broadcast partner, Lori Strong-Ballard.
Jan, if you take a look at the record books, you have to go all the way back to the 80s with Florida to see a team rule this conference like Georgia and Alabama. But now there are two teams who can officially step down from that underdog role. Both LSU and Florida this year are legitimate contenders to the throne. In her third year as head coach at Florida, Rhonda Fain has increased their difficulty, which elevates their scoring potential, and she's found a way to create stability and consistency with the routines, a crucial element to win a championship.
For the most part, especially the last few meets, we've been very consistent with our lineups and our athletes, and I think that says a lot, that we are able to score the same on the road as we are at home, and that this environment, obviously not being at home, hopefully it'll give our athletes confidence knowing that they're capable of doing that.
In the 24-year history of these SEC championships, LSU has claimed one title way back in 1981. Well, the Tigers have always been in the mix in that top tier. Dee Dee, this year could be different. Is this your best chance at winning an SEC title?
Well, I think there's so much parity, but we've had some consistency in our season and enjoyed some success. So if I were gonna think that this year we could do it, I really believe that this team's got what it takes.
You're ranked #2 in the nation, top in the SEC. Now all of a sudden the target is on your back. How is the team handling the pressure?
Well, it's been a little tense. I didn't think we came in yesterday and had a sterling day, but practice doesn't really mean anything. We're a little bit sharper today. I feel like they've got their game face on. So I think if our A team shows up, it'll be a competition. There'll be 4 teams, maybe 5 teams mixing it up.
Now, in terms of your rotation draw, the luck was with you. You start comfortably on vault, but in the last rotation, you will be on the sidelines on a bye.
Yeah.
Tell me how this competition needs to play out for you.
Well, we just need to be consistent. I just want to compete. I think if we hit our routines and do what we've done to put ourselves in the seating that we're in, then we can compete. You know, you can't have a mistake in this meet and come back from it. I think you're going to perish. So we've got to be consistent and do what we did to get here.
Thanks, Coach. Now over to you, Natalie.
Thanks, Lori. The SEC Championships is a very intense event. The nerves are heightened, the pressure is on, and the crowds are loud and large. But one of the most crucial events is the championship draw. This occurs even before the event begins. But this championship draw, in a way, sets the pace for the SEC Championships. In rotation 1, Arkansas, Florida, and University of Kentucky all have byes, while LSU competes on the vaults, Auburn on the bars, and Alabama on the beam, while Georgia starts off on the floor.
Thanks, Natalie. Well, it should be a great competition out here tonight, not only for the team title, but for the individual all-around title as well. You look at someone like Alabama junior Ashley Miles. She's a 3-time national champion and is currently ranked #1 on both the vault and floor exercise. Then you've got LSU junior April Burkholder, the reigning SEC Gymnast of the Year, who has scored a perfect 10 on 3 of 4 events this season. For Georgia, sophomore Kelsey Erickson looking to add an all-around title to the SEC Freshman of the Year honors she won here last year. Well, we're all set to go here in Duluth. All that's left to do is start this meet. We'll do that when we come back. Welcome back to the arena at Gwinnett Center. The SEC Gymnastics Championship set to get underway here. We're about to begin rotation #1, but before we do, we've got to tell you about this meet. It is a very challenging and interesting competition. As you can see, there are a lot of Gym Dog fans in the house. It's just down the road from Athens. But there you see it, 7 rotations, 7 teams competing, and each team gets 3 byes. As I said, Lori, very challenging for the teams.
Well, this is very different than the traditional dual meet format that the athletes compete throughout the year. It is a long competition, and it's important to be able to get into that competition zone when they need to, and then be able to back off on the byes as well.
Right off the bat, getting ready to see the Georgia Gym Dogs. In fact, 3 of the top 4 teams in this competition competing in this first rotation. And Michelle Emmons on floor for the Gym Dogs.
Michelle has some of the biggest tumbling of this competition, opening with a solid double layout. It's a great opportunity for Georgia to get their fans into this competition, to really start that adrenaline flowing and feed off the energy. Michelle's middle pass is forward, tumbling front full to a front layout, very clean landing.
Michelle, the only senior on this Gym Dog team. Definitely this team looks to her for leadership.
Her 4th SEC championship. She knows exactly what this is about. Intense competition. It's 4 events. The best team at the end of 4 events. Final tumbling pass. Another difficult one. A double salto in the pike position. Again, a strong landing. Great routine for Georgia.
Suzanne Yocklin said her team would have to set the pace on this first event in this first rotation. How about a 9-9 for Michelle Emmons for setting the pace?
Suzanne always believes in building momentum, starting off strong, building that confidence right from the start.
Well, Marie Bear and Alabama have the challenge in this first rotation of competing on the balance beam while they've got Georgia on floor. As you just heard a little bit of what that crowd can sound like in this arena. Very important that these athletes keep their focus on the beam.
Alabama has a few disadvantages here. This is their first competitive event. There's always a few extra nerves on that first event that they'll be dealing with, something you don't want to deal with on balance beam. And you have to consider that Georgia is on floor. This arena is so noisy, they have to block it out and stay in the zone. Great tumbling pass, a front aerial to a back handspring swing down. Marie is absolutely gorgeous on this event, showing off her flexibility and balance there. She has long, precise lines and fluid movement. Really a bonus on this event. Struggling to cover up a few slight wobbles. She's doing a nice job so far. Her jump series, a switch leap, straddle to a wolf jump. Again, hitting every single split position and jump position precisely. Warning signal, she has 10 seconds to dismount. Great stuck dismount. Good routine for Alabama.
Marie Bear, a junior for the Crimson Tide. She is 4th in their rotation as we get another look.
Here's the tumble series. You can see she comes up a little bit crooked out of that front aerial, but then she brings her arms back up by her ears to straighten herself out into the backward tumbling backhand.